What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the Only Sports Podcast. That's right, the Only Sports Podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. How we doing today, Casino?
Pretty good, because apparently I'm the new Skip Bayless of sports. No, I'm doing pretty good today. Yeah, had a good past couple days.
Yeah, this has been the last since Monday's show. This has probably been the biggest week for our, I hate using this word, but brand. Can I say brand? Whatever you want to call it. We're blowing up on, and in terms of blowing up, are blowing up on TikTok, on YouTube, wherever you listen.
We did it, Mama. We did it.
Audio episode. So there we go. Also, for the YouTube specifically, I'm going to be using, there's going to be two versions of the live show. It's going to be either the short version where you have Casino on top, me on the bottom, not how it usually is in real life, or you have the YouTube regular version where it's us side to side. The full shows will be in the live. I'm just going to be putting clips on our main feed on YouTube. So if you want to see the live shows, head over to the live section. If you want to see the clips and the segments of our shows, head over to the main page. And then obviously we're putting up shorts that are different than both those. So yeah, other than that, business as usual. We are here today to talk about week 16. Before we get into that, Casino, you want to talk about something else, or can we dive in?
I mean, we can just kind of dive in, man. I'm ready for it. Let's go. I'm ready to be ridiculed again for some takes that I've had, which is just, it's so funny because 90% of the time on this show, you're the one.
I don't know why you keep saying this. No, I don't.
Because our longtime viewers hit me up and they're like, what is he talking about? He's going wild. So yeah, no, I mean,
I've never said anything insane that the people in the comments have been like, this guy's crazy. I am like literally never.
I did it for the show. I did it for the show. 100%. I did it for the show. I knew that your rants and your takes were just so, just so off the rails.
On the nose.
No.
I
had to say something crazy to get the show going. So I did. I said Jordan Love was thrown all over him, which, you know what, he threw 2 picks, but he did have more total yards. That offense did have more total yards. They lost 4 starters. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they were also 1-4 in the red zone. They couldn't score. They threw for they passed the ball for
sometimes
60
people
yards
have issues with finishing. Okay, all right.
I mean, that is
don't blame them. Okay, it's a condition. It's called can't score in the red zone.
I mean, that is true. But as always, Casino, on our Wednesday shows, we do what we do, and we talk about the good, the mid, and the ugly. And we got so much love for last week. Let's just run it back. Here it is, the good, the mid, and the ugly. It's good.
So it's funny. So one of our listeners, one of my buddies, he did hit me up and he was like, you got to make sure that BJ plays that after or during every single Eagle rant that he does, so the viewers can actually enjoy something, which I thought was hysterical. And I was like, that's delightful, because yeah, I feel the same way. I mean,
people love my Eagles rants, but I'll tell you what, no Eagles rants this week. There is, however, actually, we'll get to it when we talk about that game. There is something I would like to investigate when it comes to the Eagles game, because something I read and saw where I was like, that's interesting. But again, that's a tease for when we get to the ugly games, because that game is not good or mid. Let's instead, Casino, start with the good, as we always do.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's a lot of good games this week.
A lot of good, meaningful games.
Yeah, and none bigger than the Thursday night game between the 11-3 Los Angeles Rams and the 11-3 Seattle Seahawks. Who you got in this one, Casino?
This reminds me of when the Lions and the Vikings were both sitting that 14-3 mark, or whatever, 14-2, and that was huge, right? It came down, it was the last game of the season. It was that big game. This is pretty much the exact same thing. I know they got, 2 more games after this, but this is for the NFC number 1 seed. Because whoever wins this, I know the Bears are right there. You got the Bears. Who else? No, wrong division. Wrong conference. Who else? No, it's pretty much between that, right? Oh, the Niners. So this whole division, right? The Niners are right behind these two with 10 wins. These two got 11. The Bears got 10. Whoever wins this game, they're most likely going to win that number 1 overall seed for the NFC. Huge game. I'm going with the Seahawks on this. I know that Sam Darnold has issues when he's being pressured, but what both of these teams have done well is Stafford and Darnold have both taken team-friendly deals to make sure that their teams are good. That was something that when Darnold went to the Seahawks, we were both like, 3 years, that cheap? That's pretty good. Like, they kind of got him for a steal, whether he was going to pan out or not. I think he's panned out pretty well. They're 11-3. He still has his issues with the pass rush. However, I got to go with Seahawks at home. The Rams are missing Devontae Adams, and that's just going to make that defense focus on Puka Nacua a little bit more, right? And I think that he will be double teamed all night. I have to go with the Seahawks being at home. I can see this game coming down to what it just did last week for the Seahawks, down to a field goal. This is going to be a low-scoring game, in my opinion. I know both these teams can sling and put up numbers, but both of these defenses are going to minimize, I think, the big plays, and they'll both score, but they're not going to be putting up 30, 40 points, in my opinion, I don't think. I do think that this game is going to be close. Low 20s, high teens, something like that, with the Seahawks coming out on top. I'm thinking maybe like 24 to 20 or something like that. Good game. I'm excited for this. And yes, I would say about 14% of this is because I picked the Seahawks to win the division.
There is also a scenario in this where I believe it has to be Seahawks to win this game, the 49ers to win this game, and then Seahawks lose one of their next 2 while the Niners win out, and then they would take the division because I believe they have the tiebreaker over the Rams.
Yeah,
and then
take the division and win the number 1 overall seed, because I mean the Bears, they got a tough schedule. Like this, we talked about it last episode. This is wild. This NFC is wild. 1 through 7 seeding can all change in the next 3 weeks drastically, and teams can miss the playoffs with an 11-win record.
Yeah, it's one of those things where what is it? You're looking at this and you're going, this again, like as you said, we talked about Monday, where this could be the difference between the number 1 seed, the number 2 seed, the number 7 seed. It could, again, because 49ers lose, Lions keep winning, those two switch. So the 49ers in their last 3 weeks, they could be the number 1 seed, number 2 seed, number 7 seed, or out. Like, and again, how many teams can we say that for right now? Probably on the NFC side, almost every team but what? The Eagles and I think these 2 teams.
Yeah,
like these 2 teams are definitely in the playoffs. Everybody else could, if they lose 2 more games, they're out. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the Eagles are just going to lock up, their division, and that's it, and they'll just be seeded appropriately. But it's wild because all the rest of the teams, I mean, the 2 strongest divisions are in the NFC. So yeah, this is fun. This is a really competitive postseason for the NFC, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. So I'm picking the Seahawks. Who are you going for?
I am going for the Rams. Again, I don't know what it is about Darnold, but he just doesn't give me any type of confidence in these big games. And again, even in this season, they're 11-3, and even in the biggest games the Seahawks have won, it's all been because of defense or because of weird plays or
last second field goals because of weird plays.
Interceptions is how they've lost games and stuff. It's just
100%.
Sam Darnold is good. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in these big games, in these big moments, again, we had this last year when it was Vikings Packers to win that division, and he shit the bed.
Vikings Lions.
Or Vikings Lions, that's what it was. And he shit the bed. So I just need to see in a big moment Sam Darnold win a big game that actually means something.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you on that. I've got to go with Seahawks at home. It's going to be loud. Stafford might get a little rattled. I don't know. I mean, this game's going to be tight. Can you at least agree on that, though?
Oh yeah, no, this game's going to be close, especially these Thursday night games. Is divisional Thursday night games have been weird. They've been close. Again, I think of that Bills-Dolphins game, and now what we've seen with those two teams, it's like, how was that game just a shootout back and forth? But also, Casino, going into Week 16, 3 weeks left to go, I am winning the pick battle, 136. 136, you have 130. So I'm winning by 6. And that's our first game of the day, we're going different because I am going the Rams. I think the Davante Adams loss is huge, but I don't really think there's a difference between this Rams team this year and last year. And last year, they didn't have Davante Adams. So again, I think in this Rams offense, you can kind of plug and play as long as you have just a big wide receiver, a wide receiver one like a Puka Nacua. I think you can still move the ball. Again, we did this on the show a couple weeks ago. Nobody in the league focuses all their targets as a quarterback more on their wide receiver, like 1 and 2, than Matthew Stafford. It was like Davante Adams and Cooper Kupp had like 90% of his passes. So again, I just think it's going to be more Nacua. They'll plug somebody into that 2 role, and it'll just be what it's been, business as usual. So we're both going Rams on that one, Casito. Next
I'm picking Seahawks.
No, I'm sorry. You went Seahawks, I went Rams. Also, this is a weird week because which doesn't make any sense to me because Christmas is next week, which I felt like would be where they would get weird with the schedule. But instead, the week before Christmas, we also have 2 Saturday games, one in the afternoon, one at night. The night one is the one we're talking about right now. 9-4-1 Packers at 10-4 Bears. It's in Chicago. Last time these two played, it was 27-20. And the Packers won that one. Who you got in this one, Casino?
Regardless of my Jordan Love, I have to go with the Bears in this one. What the Packers lost last game was it's too much for this team to lose. And I mean, they were playing well down the stretch. Jordan Love was playing well, but losing Parsons, losing Walker, they had 4 starters that they lost that game. Like, that is huge. That's very tough to overcome. That I have to go with Bears playing at home. I know Caleb is his completion percentage is pretty low. Last I saw, it was right around the 60 mark, which is not good. But are you looking that up?
It's 58. So yeah,
58%. Not that great. I think the week before it was like at 61. So I knew it was right around there. I know that's not good, but he's taking chances. He's taking shots. He's not being as scared as he was last year. He's made improvement. I know the Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams things has kind of worked as of late, but I can still see some disconnect between those two when it comes to Caleb's ad lib and Ben Johnson's more structured offense and, fun schemes and stuff like that. But I'm saying the Bears defense playing good down the stretch. I'm going with them. It would have been the Packers if the Packers stayed healthy. I would have just gone with the Packers again because, they've already done it once and they're looking good, but got to go with the Bears. Got to pick the Bears in this one.
Yeah, I think I am as well. I'm going with I'm going with the Bears in Green Bay, in Chicago. I just think I like more what I've seen from the Bears the past couple weeks, especially in that Denver game. Again, it's not that the Packers played bad. I mean, they did in the second half, but it's also, like you said, who they lost. They lost big pieces, both on their offense and defense, as the Bears have kind of gone the opposite way, which is just they're winning big games in big moments. Again, their last couple games, they beat division rival Vikings, Steelers, Eagles, Browns. And again, the Browns, they killed. The Browns still have a top 3 defense in this league. They killed them. The Eagles, in the Eagles' worst game of the season, they went to overtime after turning the ball over 6 times. They played way better in that Bears game, and the Bears still smoked them by 10 points. The Bears won against the Eagles more than the team they played that got 6 turnovers on them. So that's how good the Bears are. And the Packers, again, the Packers lost to the Broncos. They beat the Bears, and that final score was 28-21. I think I said 27-20, but 28-21. They beat the Lions. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Giants. But again, all those are, yes, they're divisional games, but they weren't, I guess, as impressive as they weren't as impressive as what I thought the Bears have been doing. Especially Bears are going to be at home. No, I do not trust Caleb Williams, but it's not like Jordan Love I trust more. It's not, it's kind of just going to be coaching, scheming, defense. And again, Packers lost a lot of people on defense. Green Bay or Chicago's defense, they're going to get the ball they're going to get turnovers. They're going to get the ball back. We saw that last week against that Broncos defense. Jordan Love is a turnover machine in the sense that he will throw a deep one at least twice a game where you're just like, oh, this is 50-50 shot if his guy catches it or if it's picked off. Last week, he was on the bad end of it. Usually against the bad teams, he's on the good end of it. This is not a bad team. The Bears are the best team in the league at getting turnovers for a reason. So I'm picking the Bears in this one as well. This one, we both are picking the Bears. This might be my pick for best game, but I don't think so.
You know what's crazy, though? So the Packers are actually favored, but money was coming in for the Bears. It came close to being a pick 'em. The previous game, actually, I see in some sites where it does have the Rams at -1.5, but I've also seen other betting sites that have them as a pick 'em as well. That's crazy that like Vegas is just like, damn, both these games are so tight. Again, and all the bettors coming in to pretty much make both of these games a pick 'em is pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me but again, I feel like that happens every week where we're just like, oh, this is my underdog pick because this team's traveling, they're on the road. And then you're like, oh no, they're actually favored by 7 points. And you're like, what? They're not the better team. Like, again, that happened with the Chiefs game last week where the Chiefs were favored against that Chargers team. How? But WIP Hero 2755 says, what's up? I was here last week. Bit late to this one. Have you done the Jag games yet? No, we have not yet. But actually, you know what? We can do it right now because it is one of the good games this week. It might honestly be the best game this week. He also said, I got the Packers, but I would not be surprised if the Bears outright won due to the Packers injuries. That's pretty, I mean,
so I don't know when you just came in, but again, it's damn near a pick 'em. For this game as well. Money kept coming back in for the Bears to bring it closer to a pick 'em. I don't, with the injuries, I'm very surprised that the Bears are not favored at home by like a 1 or 1.5. It's kind of wild to me.
So do we want to do that as our upset of the week?
No, let's just get into it. Let's keep going. Let's keep rolling.
Okay, so next up, we have our 10-4 Jacksonville Jaguars at the 12-2 Denver Broncos. The question is simple, Casino. Who you got?
Who you got? Oh, man. This is a tough one because I like how the Jags have been playing. I said 4 weeks ago that the Jags, I'm going to keep bringing that up because I was on that, and you're like, no, the Jags are the Jags. Trevor Lawrence has not turned over the ball as much. I mean, he's still a turnover machine. But this team has been finding ways to put up quite a bit of points here. I know they're going up against a really good defense, especially on the road, going into Mile High. The altitude's a thing, especially for the Jaguars, who pretty much play at sea level. I mean, you got to take that into consideration. So back in the day, I used to be a runner. I'm just throwing this out there. I know I don't look like it much, but we had to do altitude training because if we wanted to go up to, say, the state race or regionals up in Reno, we would get demolished. Because even going up there and after doing altitude training here in Vegas, we'd go up to the mountains here in Vegas, you're still having a hard time breathing. So any team that goes into Denver, and that's why Denver getting that number 1 overall seed is going to be huge. Somebody going up there and playing who are not used to the altitude, you're going to see a lot of oxygen tanks. It's going to be cold. The Jags, we'll see how they can do up there. I'm going to take all that in consideration, that with that defense, with the altitude, with the temperature, I'm picking the Broncos in this one. Bo Nix is doing what he did like he did last year. Started looking really good towards the end of the season. These past few games seriously have been some of the best Bo Nix has ever played. And, pairing with that defense, this makes them a real threat going into the postseason. A couple weeks back, I was like, okay, Broncos are good. That defense is good, but Bo Nix I'm not too sure what he's doing on offense. He's good, but not great. I know last game there was multiple times where he almost turned the ball over like 4 times against the Packers at the end of that game. So he's got to dial it in a little bit more. He's super athletic. I like the Broncos in this game, regardless how I feel about the Jags. As a Patriot fan, I do not want to play almost any team in the AFC going into this postseason. Broncos are good. Bills, that's in division head to head. Then you have the Texans defense playing good. So I really feel like it's wide open and it matters where you play. Going into Denver is going to be very tough. You got to treat this like a playoff game because most likely these two teams could meet in the postseason. So Jags, you got to go in there, get some reps. Even if you lose this game, feel comfortable that you're going in, getting some reps in that altitude because you might have to go play them. So,
yeah, I think, you know what? This, what is it? The same guy, WPI Hero 2755 says, I got the Jags 31-21. Trevor is a day and Bo Picks makes an appearance. That's funny.
Bo Picks. I like that because, like I said, he almost turned over the ball 4 times.
He's still the worst deep ball thrower in the league. I don't care what anybody says. Broncos are good. His deep balls, they hit 1 out of every 10 times.
You don't have to be a good deep ball thrower. I was listening to Colin today on the drive, right?
When you throw a lot, you do. When you throw a lot of deep balls, you do.
I mean, that's fair. He should reel that in a little bit. Colin was talking about it today, kind of comparing Caleb Williams and Bo Nix, that Caleb, he takes those big chances downfield and sometimes he connects, but Bo Nix seems a little more athletic and he's good. He can do that Tom Brady-esque, that dink and dunk, live off of that. That's fine. You win football games 5 yards at a time. Reel it in, do that, and you'll be very successful. So I'm still going with the Broncos on this one. But again, I like the Jags.
Also, WIP, or is it WIP? I don't know. WIP Hero, WIP Hero 2755 says Jags have the most 25-point wins in the league with 11. That's crazy.
That's
and
impressive.
If you look at,
I'm saying they're scoring.
Well, you look at the last 5 games they've played. They blew out the Chargers by 31 points, 3-point game against the Cardinals, won by 22 against the Titans, won by 18 over the Colts, won by 18 over the Jets. Like, you know what? I'm switching my pick, Casino. I'm going Jags.
That's fine. That's fine.
If I'm ever going to have
get
to
all that.
Jags,
I 100% get all of that.
Now.
Here's the thing. I get all of that. And I like the Jags. I was picking the Jags before you were picking the Jags. And my issue is with the Jags going up into Denver where it's cold. You know that teams that play in a good climate have trouble going and playing in cold games. We see it every year, right? So that's my worry going into the altitude when the Jags typically play, at sea level. This is going to be just tough. I want to see what they can do. Obviously, I don't want the Broncos to win. I would love to see the Jags win this game, just to give my Patriots hope to go and win that number 1 overall seed. I would love that, but I'm having trouble picking the Jags in this just because of where they're playing. I wish them the best of luck. I wish Trevor Lawrence the best of luck. You and I both like Trevor Lawrence. We had him to win the MVP 2 years ago, like idiots, but it is what it is. So,
well, I will say, what is it? The all the best games the Jaguars have played in the past 2 months of the season have all been at home. So it's not like their away games have been, I mean, they killed the Titans, but again, it's the Titans. That 3-point game against the Cardinals, I don't know. But also that might be why you don't want to see the Jags at home during the playoffs, because they are a good home team. Last two things on this game.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Dual 12 Neo says, I need Trevor to ball out so hard the Jags go back into contract negotiations. I think he got paid. Didn't he get paid like a season or two ago?
Not
Trevor
sure.
Lawrence, or maybe they're re-signing him. Who knows? And then Whip Hero says Devin Lloyd and Antonio Johnson have a day. Mr. Hugo 61 says it's not going to be that cold in Denver on Sunday. It's forecast to be in the 50s. They won easily in San Francisco. That's true. But again, I'm talking about last, 2 months? Last, 6 weeks since it's week 11?
Yeah,
They did kill the 49ers, though.
Yeah, he just signed. I'm starting in 2026. He's got a 5-year deal for $275 million contract extension, averaging at $55 million annually. So, and that will go through the 2030 season. So, yeah, you were right. We were thinking the same thing. So, yeah, he got paid.
But also, again, they did kill the 49ers in week 4, but since then, between week 4 and the weeks I'm talking about, they lost to the Texans. They lost to the Rams badly. They got blown out by 31 points to the Rams, and then they lost by 8 to the Seahawks. So it's not like the Jags haven't had bad losses this season.
Right, and it's close. Like it opened up at -2.5 for the Broncos. It's moved to 3. More money's coming in on the Broncos. So, I mean, it's not going to be a blowout, in my opinion. This is going to be a close game. I have trouble with. I know. Okay, so you say it's going to be 50s. That's still a little warmer than what cooler than what Jacksonville would be. To my knowledge. And
but also I will say
altitude is a thing.
I will say, I do think, I know a lot of people are a lot of talking heads when it comes to football that I've seen have been like, I don't know if I believe in any of these teams. I'm done doubting either of them. I had early season doubts. I'm on board for both Jacksonville and Broncos. They're legit.
Any of the teams that make the playoffs right now, I'm for the AFC at least. Any of those teams I think can go to the Super Bowl.
Outside of maybe the Steelers and Ravens. Like, that's it. And again, I feel like you can make a case for either. Fair. Like, you could make a case if they all of a sudden just turned it on and you're like, well, of course the Steelers are good. They have Aaron Rodgers. And then you would be like, yeah, of course the Ravens are good. They have Lamar Jackson. Other than that, Chargers, again, I just think they're resilient. I just think they're tough. Bills, you could make a case they have the best quarterback in the league at the current moment. Again, Patriots, Broncos, I don't think you need to make a case for. And then Jaguars, Texans, again, Texans, potentially the best defense in the league. Jaguars, what that person said, what Whip Hero says, the most 25-point wins in the league. So again, for all the AFC teams, if the Colts can sneak in there, I don't know. I don't think I would want to see them over Chargers, Bills, or Texans. I think those teams are all really interesting. Yes, it would be fun if Phillip Rivers got in there, but I don't want to see them over any of that.
Had to let the dogs out.
Mr. Hugo 61 says it's currently in the 60s in Jacksonville. Okay. So I'll tell you what, I was just in Florida.
So apparently I didn't know my climate.
It's very cold at night, but it's very nice during the day. I love Florida. Never been to Florida before till 2 weeks ago. Now I think I'm retiring.
I'm gonna have to give it one more shot. I mean, I've been to Florida once. I spent a week down in Miami and it's just miserable. The humidity coming from Vegas, the humidity, I can't do it.
See, I like humidity. I feel so dry and like my skin is just tree bark in Vegas. When I went to Miami, it was like I always had
when you put the lotions on the skin.
It was nice. But I don't like lotion. I don't like how it feels. Next up, we have our next good game. 7-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the 7-7 Carolina Panthers. Who you got, Casino? Either the Bucs or the Panthers?
See, this one I'm really struggling with because the Bucs and the Panthers, they're both winning and losing games that you expect them to win certain games and they lose, and then lose certain games and they win. I don't know, especially with the Panthers. I have to go with the Panthers on this one, just solely because we've been watching what Baker's been doing all season, right? Because early on, he was an MVP candidate. He was leading the MVP race there for like the first 3-4 weeks, something like that. I know that's super early on in the season, but he was winning close games and he was able to finish in the red zone. He was able to finish the fourth quarter drives. He has not done that over the last 5-6 weeks. That worries me, and especially going into the Panthers, who I know just lost to the Saints, and they've lost to the Saints twice this year. Not that good. But you got to take into consideration that's in division. They know these teams know each other quite well. Yeah, I think that's just an anomaly. Every team has an Achilles heel. For my Patriots for years, it's always been Miami. Every season, you're just like, oh, we're losing one of those, right? Just losing one of those games. So I'm not trying to freak out about the Panthers losing to the Saints. I'm gonna go Panthers on this one. I just can't trust Baker right now, which is sad because I love Baker. But we both like Bryce Young, and I want to see what the Panthers can do in the playoffs, because we've seen that the Panthers can beat the elite teams, right? When they're on, they beat the Rams. They beat the best team in the league. So
yeah, not only did they beat the Rams, they beat the Rams when they were widely considered to be the best team in the league. That was week 13, where it was like everybody else has faltered. Rams are the best.
That's not me saying that I expect them to do it again, but I want to see the Panthers in, and I think the Panthers would be a lot more fun to watch in the postseason than the struggling Bucs, who have lost 6 of their last 7 or 5 of their last 6, whatever that is. I think it's 5 of their last 6. That's not good. That's not good. That's not what you want when you go into the playoffs. At least the Panthers have been up and down, and they've been showing fight every game, and knocking out top opponents, later in the season than what the Bucs have been doing. So I'm going with the Panthers on this one. I'm going with Bryce Young. And I hope Baker has still a good game, because I'm in the semis for my fantasy and he's my starting quarterback. But I hope the Panthers still get it done, just because I want to see what they can do in the postseason.
I'll tell you what, I said this on the TikTok. I think the more I look at it, I even want to double down on what I said, which is the Bucs feel like they just fell on their face and they're having a hard time standing back up. The Panthers just feel like they kind of stumble and then get back to just running the same way they ran. Because if you look at the last 5 games for the Buccaneers, they are 1-5. The only one of those games they won was against the Cardinals, and it was 3 points. It was 3 points at home against the Cardinals.
Crazy. It opened up as +1.5 for the Panthers at home. It is now +3 for the Panthers.
Yeah, I really do feel like the bloom is off the rose for the Bucs. They were just, again, everybody's hot team, everybody's team that's going to go into the playoffs. Baker Mayfield, I feel like he was the league MVP for the first 2-3 months of the season, and then that obviously kind of cooled off when, Mahomes went on his run, the Rams went on their run, Drake May was on his run, and he's just kind of been slipping back, which is weird because they've been getting healthier. They've been getting healthier, and somehow that's been making them worse, which makes no sense.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. The Panthers have to win this game. They just have to win this game, because the Panthers, in between, because the Bucs and Panthers play each other this week, and then they play each other the final week. But the Panthers have the Seahawks in the middle of that. The Bucs, they have the Dolphins, and Dolphins are now sitting Tua Tagovailoa. So, yeah.
This is weird. But yeah, I'm
going
with the Panthers.
If the Panthers want to win this division, they have to at least start off on a good foot and win this game. They're going to have to win both, I think, against the Bucs, because I do think they'll lose to the Seahawks, who are still trying to fight for the number 1 overall seed. And then the Bucs, you would expect, especially with Tua being out, even though how we like the backup for the Dolphins. Ewers, yes. Ewers coming in. And you and I don't dislike Ewers, but he's a backup quarterback for a reason. But you'd expect.
But you and I have also never really been high on Tua.
No, we haven't. And going in there, maybe the Bucs, get surprised by yours, but you expect them to go and beat that team that is benching their starting quarterback, and it's just up in flames in Miami. So Panthers, you got to win this one. Fingers crossed. Let's do it.
Yeah, Mr. Hugo says I'm going Carolina. I'm going Carolina as well.
Same.
Again,
we all are going Carolina.
You hear so many bad things about Bryce Young. Then you look at their stats, Mayfield and Bryce Young, it's like 400 yards and 2 touchdowns that differentiate their stats. Yeah. They're almost identical. Like, I don't know why Baker just is like elevated to this podium.
Because he had such a good starting season, and he had a good last season. So people are putting him up on a higher pedestal, and we've seen him go from bad teams, right, and work his way into being a good quarterback, especially when he went to Tampa and he started focusing. And people are still up in the air with Bryce Young because, he got benched last year, and then Darnold or the Red Rocket came in. Yes, I call him the Red Rocket. Andy Dalton came in. He got injured in that car crash. So they brought back Bryce Young, got a second chance at last year and started looking good, kind of won his job back, in my opinion. Because I was really worried that after he got benched last year, he wasn't coming back. He wasn't going to be a starter.
But ever since he's come back, he's been good. Again, he's put up the same numbers, and people can say the Bucs wide receivers were injured and stuff like that. It's not like Carolina has really anything outside of McMillan, who's a rookie. Nobody else on that team is doing anything in that receiving core. So shout out Bryce Young. Props. Let's keep going, Casino. We will put 3 more games in the good category. Let's talk about the 8-6 Pittsburgh Steelers at the 8-6 Detroit Lions. Who you got?
Man, this has been a tough one. You and I struggled on the TikTok about this. I'm going with the Lions, and that is just because they're both fighting, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers fighting for their division against the Ravens. And then the Lions just trying to get into the postseason, whichever way they can. Obviously, their division is out of reach, but they're doing whatever they can to get into the postseason. And playing at home, I'm going to trust the firepower of Goff. I'm going to trust the firepower of you got Montgomery and Gibbs over what the Steelers have. Rodgers is up and down in big moments, and I think that he's not going to be able to show up in this game that he wants to. I have to go with the Lions in this game and keep their playoff hopes alive. Because even if the Steelers lose this, they're not out of it, right? They're not out of it at all, because even if they lose this and the Ravens beat my Patriots, they're tied again. So it's not a do or die moment for
the Steelers,
but it is do or die for the Lions. And again, teams with their backups against the wall make them dangerous. So especially when I know you and I have our issues kind of with Dan Campbell, and he's a little too aggressive sometimes. And I know he's a good players coach and whatnot, but we're just like, okay, you need to chill. We both like Goff. He puts up great numbers. They have the best duo at running back in the league. So I got to go with Lions at home.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Lions are heavily favored. The Lions are heavily favored too. The Lions are -7.
The Lions are -7. Oh yeah, because they should be the favorite. They're at home. The Steelers, again, Lions have been really hit or miss, but again, with the Lions, you feel like any game, any opportunity, they can drop 35 on you without hesitation. For the Steelers, it feels like half the games they play, they struggle to put up 2-3 touchdowns. It feels like 2 touchdowns might be their ceiling in most games they play. Again, the Monday night game against the Dolphins, they kind of killed the Dolphins, but it never really felt impressive. Like when the Lions kill teams, it feels impressive because it's like, oh my God, Jahmyr Gibbs just had 3 touchdowns. Jared Goff threw for 85% completion percentage and 3 more. It's like when they do it, you're impressed. When the Steelers do it, you're almost kind of shocked. You're like, wow, I didn't know this Steelers team had that in them. And then again, I just don't know. I just watch this Steelers team and I just go, something's off with them. I just don't believe in this team. With the Lions, you watch it and you just go, how is this team not better than what I'm watching? So in one, you go
100%.
how are you winning? The Lions, you go, how are you not winning this game in a blowout? Like every games they play, that's how I feel. And for that reason, I'm going Lions. And like you said, Steelers can lose this game because I also think Ravens lose to Patriots. So I don't really think anything changes in the AFC North this weekend. The Lions, they could be, at the start of this game, they could be at a 60% chance to win this or to make the playoffs if they win this game. Everybody else in front of them wins, and then their percentage could drop to 10%. Like the Lions need this game. The Lions with the loss just might be out. The Lions with the win could potentially steal that last playoff spot from who would probably be either the Packers or Bears. So Lions need this game a lot. What?
Get this. So I'm reading off the CBS Sports the odds, right? There's a little video going on in the corner, and apparently the Detroit's last win versus the Steelers was on Thanksgiving. Guess the year.
The Lions' last win against the Steelers?
It was on Thanksgiving in what year?
1997.
98. Holy shit, very close. 98. The last win. That was great. The last win for the Steelers was our last win versus the Steelers was on Thanksgiving 1998. Dear God.
Jesus.
That's so long. Holy smoke.
The crazy thing is the last
Patriots I thought the Patriots ass kicking over the Jets was something, but holy shit.
Well, the crazy thing is the last two times these two teams played was in 2021 and it was a tie. So they've had more ties than they've had victories against the Steelers since the 90s. That's crazy.
Wild.
Mr. Hugo 61 says, great stretch of football coming up. Thursday, Rams Seahawks. Friday, college football playoffs. Saturday, more college football. Packers Bears. Sunday, more great games. Can't wait. Yes, we will be also talking about the college football playoffs that start this weekend. This is going to be, and again, it starts Thursday night. It goes Friday, then it's Saturday, then it's Sunday. There's even throw in the Monday night game. The Monday night game is good with a lot of playoff implications. So this is a good weekend of sports. But in this one, we're both picking the Lions. Let's keep moving along for the last two games. It's the Sunday night game, Monday night game. Sunday night game, your Patriots 11-3 traveling to Baltimore to play the 7-7 Ravens. Who you got, Casino?
Oh man, I'm going with the Ravens on this one, and call me crazy. That's fine. I know you do behind my back all the time and to my face, but I am definitely going the Ravens on this one. And I say definitely because they have more to fight for. The Patriots, even if they lose this game, they are still in the driver's seat to win the division. Because even if the Bills win out, the Patriots, as long as they don't lose to the Dolphins and the Jets in their finals two games, they win the division. So this is not a must win for the Patriots. Obviously, you would like to, and then hope for the Bills to slip up against the Eagles, but it's not a must win, but it would be nice. Ravens, they need this. They are already a game behind the Steelers. And if they want any hope, Lamar wants any hope to make the postseason, they need to win this game.
Yeah, but also, what is going on with Lamar Jackson? I feel like when
I don't
he came
know.
back,
I brought that up in the TikTok. I have no idea, dude.
It's so weird. It's like he got injured and forgot how to play football. Because again, sometimes when you're watching him play this season, especially when he came back, when he first came back, you were like, okay, well, he's just shaking the rust off, getting the injury, doesn't feel like running. Now he feels like running, but sometimes it just feels like he looks lost out there. It's really weird.
I'm so glad you brought that up because looking lost is what it is. Because normally he would be so elusive and being able to scramble out of the pocket, and it looked like he knew exactly the route he needed to be to get out of that collapsing pocket. He does not look like it starts to collapse. He's like twirling around, freaked out, not knowing where to go.
Around, it looks like he just has no pocket awareness anymore.
Yeah, he just doesn't know where to go.
Weird.
It's so weird. The walls are closing in so fast for him nowadays.
Lamar looks like he's not interested in playing. I mean,
it feels like he's going back to, your first year one or two as a quarterback, to where Colin was talking about this a little bit today, where quarterbacks from year 1 to year 2, it goes from super, super fast play. And he's like, I think it was him or whoever was on the show was like, it's like sticking your head into a popcorn machine. I thought that was a great reference, that you're sticking your head into a popcorn machine and everything's just going everywhere. Your first year, sometimes your first 2 years, but by the time you're in second, third year, things start to slow down and you kind of figure out if you're going to make it as a quarterback in this league or not. It feels like Lamar has gone back to that, watching what happens when that pocket collapses. He does not look like Lamar Jackson that won multiple season MVPs. Like, he just does not look right. With that all being said, I still think the Ravens get this done. And it's just because they're playing at home. They have more to fight for right now than the Patriots. I don't want to say the Patriots need to look forward to the previous or the last 2 games, but you kind of want to look into those last 2 games. Yes, it does help that Miami is sitting Tua, and that helps a lot, even though they're coming up to New England. But that's where, if I was a Patriot player, I would have a hard time looking at this game and being like, oh, this is a must win, especially with losing last week and Denver winning. That AFC is kind of out of reach, right, for that number 1 seed. Like, it's not gone, but it's kind of out of reach. That you should focus on winning that division, and to win that division, you need to win those last 2 games. The Ravens game is a nice and will help pad, especially if the Bills lose to the Eagles. But it's going to be close. The Ravens started off at -2.5. They are now -3, which is wild. I mean, it kind of goes with what I'm saying is they're expected to win, right? They're expected to win at home. And again, teams with their back up against the wall, that's scary. That's scary. You don't want to play those teams that have something to fight for. Again, Patriots lose this game. It's not the end of the world for them. Doesn't even hurt them in the division race. It does hurt the Ravens if they don't win this game. If they don't win this game, they're done.
Yeah. Well, also, what is it? Mr. Hugo 61 said Lamar looks like he's not interested in playing. I think honestly that's as good of an excuse or a reasoning as anything else, because you could make that case. I don't think 100% it's insane to say that.
So do you think so with him not looking like he wants to play, I've thought of the same thing. Do you think it's just that he just want to play in Baltimore anymore to play with Harbaugh anymore? Do you think he just wants out of there?
They keep putting teams around him that should go farther in the playoffs, and then he's the reason they don't. So it's not.
He's always the one that stumbles in the playoffs. I mean, you got Hunter Henry. You got a literal tank lined up behind you. You have a tank lined up behind you, and yes, the tank might be an older version, and squeaking down the road, but it's still a goddamn tank. It's still a tank.
But it's also that thing where it's not like a Joe Burrow situation where everyone knows what the issues are and then the Bengals don't solve them. The one time they put a team around Burrow, he went to the Super Bowl. And he was 1 score away from winning that Super Bowl. With the Ravens, every year they put pieces around him. They add another piece like a Derrick Henry, and then it never changes his performance.
By the way, can we talk about just I want to see Joe Burrow go back to media week. Dude was just phenomenal. I loved Joey B just smoking cigars, acting all cool in media week. He was the best.
And now he's doing press conferences where he talks about how he doesn't know if he wants to play football or not. Like that's what
Cincinnati. Look what you've done. Look what you have done to Joey B.
And you know what? Honestly, I don't think Lamar wants to leave Baltimore. I think he doesn't like Harbaugh. There's weird stuff that comes out of Baltimore, out of Ravens camp, where it's just like these guys apparently never communicate with each other, never talk, which I don't know if you're the head coach and the quarterback of your team. Maybe I'd want you to have a conversation every once in a while. Like that seems like a weird oversight. So I think if Ravens miss the playoffs and Steelers win that division, I think Harbaugh might be gone.
And Whiffrow, just to say that the Ravens with the upset, they're actually favored, man. They're favored.
Ravens will run due to their run game. Patriots run defense got exposed versus the Bills.
It did get exposed, and it's because of Milton Williams not being there, right? That has really, really hurt that team. The Patriots run defense was the best in the league. As soon as Milton Williams goes down, there's that hole right there in the middle that every team is just exposing. So I totally agree with you. Trying to stop Hunter Henry now, like that is going to be huge. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Because I mean, the Pats did a good job with the spy on Josh Allen for the first half. Couldn't do anything on the spy in the second half. They couldn't stop Josh Allen from getting those third down runs, those runs to get the first downs. He only ran for like 45-ish yards, something like that. But they were those yards that you need to get the first downs. And then Cook obviously had the huge day on him. So Hunter Henry does scare me, and I do think that he'll run over my Patriots. And Milton Williams needs to come back as soon as he can. As soon as he can, man.
Also, this says Lamar to the Dolphins. I don't see that happening, but I also see Tua not playing for the Dolphins.
Right. I mean, well, to Lamar to the Dolphins, I don't know, but I can tell you right now, McDaniels, Tua, everybody's gone in Miami.
Also, gone. Truck Visor app has returned. He said, I have it on good authority that Lamar was playing for his major payday. He got it and took the year off. Do with that what you will, because he got hurt in the offseason. I mean, we see players get paid all the time and then just be like, oh, this is what I was playing for. Like, again, we've always separated it into the two categories of athlete, which is you're playing to win, you're playing to get paid. Like sometimes those two things are not, cohesive to each other.
I mean, so we brought it up a couple times over this season that really one of the few players that we have seen as of the past handful of years plus to actually get paid and still perform, Myles Garrett, right? He got paid and he's about to hit that sack record, which we and I both think that he will. So I mean,
he also says
not every player, they get paid and then they just don't care. They just don't care. As you said, they did their job. They worked hard enough to get that big payday, and now they can relax. They are good. Whatever happens, happens.
He also said Lamar started the season injured. I mean, he very well might have, and then just re-aggravated that injury. That's why he was out for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
This says Murray may go to the Dolphins. To be honest, he would fit the system better. Yeah, but we're saying there's not going to be the same system there. We think that Daniels and Tua are gone.
That whole organization needs to just blow up.
I'd be shocked. Let's keep the games going, Casino. Let's talk about the last good game we got this week. That is the Monday night game. San Francisco 10-4 at 8-6 Colts. And also that Thursday night game means a lot to this game because then San Francisco knows, oh, hey, the Rams lost. So that means we win out and we're basically the number one seed in the NFC. So when it comes to the 49ers and Colts, Phillip Rivers' second game, he now gets a full week of practice. Who you got in this one?
I'm still going to go with the Niners on this one because exactly what you just said is they have a shot, especially if the Rams or however the outcome again. I mean, it's so weird with how this division is in football because they're all so good. You got 2 11-win teams and a 10-win team, but the Niners can still see a path to getting the number one overall seed. They're right there. So they're going to get after Phillip Rivers here. I mean, they're playing a good defense. Phillip Rivers coming back to play some of the hardest defenses in the league, especially on the pass rush coming after him. Good on you, buddy. Do well. He only got sacked one time last game against the Seahawks, which was surprising. So the Colts offensive line, good on you for protecting that guy. I don't agree with this. Right now it's Colts plus 5.5. It's actually moved to 6.5. I think it'll be a little closer than that. I like what Rivers did and what I saw with Rivers. Yeah, he wasn't able to fling the ball like, I wouldn't even say he used to because he really wasn't all that dynamic with, downfield passes, in my opinion. What I like is he protected the football. He comes back in and without skipping a beat after 5 years, he still protected the football. He made the plays that you're supposed to play. He didn't put it into bad situations. So they might have a shot, but I'm still going to go with the Niners on this one. McCaffrey looking like he's going to be, playing really well towards the end of the season. He has. I just got to go with the Niners here. But I really hope Rivers comes out, puts up 2 touchdowns, and just gets better from last week. And everybody can shut up about him about him being the one pulled back. Again, he knows this offense. He plays this offense with his kids, in their Pop Warners. At least a report that I saw. So he knows this offense, and he did really well.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, again, he did really well in what we thought he would do, because people thought this guy hasn't played in 5 years. He's going to step on that field. He's not going to know what he's doing. He's going to get destroyed by the number one defense in the league. He's never been mobile. He's less mobile now. And instead, they got the ball out of his hands really quick. He only got sacked once, got pushed down or hit maybe 4 or 5 times in that game.
Yes, that
jumped right back up.
Yeah, that offensive line helped a lot, but I think that was just the awareness of him on being a seasoned quarterback. And, that's why he was always one of the best regular season quarterbacks. Was he was really good at just being composed with the ball, and not turning over the ball as much, right? So I'm glad to see that he did that.
I have looked, what is it? I've looked this up. I can't find it, but I was trying to find which teams in the league are worse against the screen pass, because I feel like 50% of his offensive snaps last week were screen passes, either to the wide receiver, the tight end, the running back, out of the backfield. Like, I don't know what team, I don't know how you could search this, what team is worse against behind the line of scrimmage passes. I feel like there's got to be a way with all these football nerds to find that. I can't, so I don't know how I'm searching it. But
you want to keep it simple. That his first time out, right? You want to get the ball out of his hands quick. And the Colts, to start the year, they were the highest scoring offense, right? And they've gotten less and less as the season's gone on. But they were playing safe, and I know they could have gone a little bit harder to win that game. Maybe changed up the playbook and given a little bit more downfield, something like that. But, you're going to do what you can with the arm that you have, right?
Yeah. And also 49ers defense, again, not what it used to be, because again, they lost everybody. They got the returning defensive coordinator they had when they had all those years where they went to the Super Bowl, but they're 18th in the league in total defense. They're 22nd in the league in terms of against the pass. So Phillip Rivers should be able to pass the ball a hell of a lot easier than he did last week against the Seahawks, who, again, in that same category, are top 7 in the league in total passing defense. They're 4th in the league in total defense. So they are not playing the Seattle Seahawks defense for a second week in a row. They're playing a defense they can pass on, and is a much worse defense basically in every metric compared to the Seahawks. Again, Colts defense is not much better, but against the Seahawks last week, they look pretty good. So if they can keep McCaffrey in some semblance of a check and then just try to have Brock Purdy beat them, I really do think on Monday night, the Colts legit have a shot to beat this 49ers team. So I'm going, you know what?
Is this your upset?
Yeah, I'm going Colts in the upset. Monday Night Football. We've seen all these Monday night, Sunday night football games where it's like, this team is clearly the favorite. They're clearly going to win. And then just weird stuff happens in these standalone games. Whew. So I'm going with the Colts in the upset. Also, I'm ahead by 6 games, so I have room to play here. I have room to play. What is it? And then in those Patriots Ravens game, you're going Ravens in the upset. I'm going Patriots.
Again, it's not an upset. Ravens are favored.
That's crazy. That's crazy that they're favored, especially at home, especially with what we've seen from them this season. But now let's move to the mid games casino, and I think, honestly, not a lot of them, because I really do think it goes from good to bad.
Because a lot of these games now don't mean anything.
Yeah, right? So there's not really. I only think there's one mid game.
Is it Chargers Cowboys?
That is the 10-4 Chargers at the 6-7-1 Cowboys. Again, Eagles win Saturday against the Commanders. Cowboys are out of the playoffs. So this game could mean something if Eagles lose that game. If they win that game, Dallas is out of the playoffs, because again, Dallas is 1% chance to make the playoffs only if they win the rest of the games and the Eagles lose the rest of the games. So Eagles lose one more game, they break the 20-year NFC East curse of no team repeating. So For this game, who do you got, Casino? Chargers or Dallas in Dallas?
This is apparently going to be my upset pick because Cowboys are favored by 2.5. I'm going with the Chargers on this game. Yeah, I mean, the Chargers, they're fighting for seeding here. I don't think they can catch their division opponents, right, in the Broncos. So I'm going with the Chargers here. They're just going to keep rolling, keep fine-tuning what they need to fine-tune. I think that loss last week the Cowboys had really deflated them. I think that they're done. I just think that they're done. Yes, I know there's technically still a chance, apparently, but no, they're done. Chargers are going to win this game. I know the Chargers offensive line has not been good, but this is where you have a chance here to play a team that's not going to make the playoffs, and you can now fine tune it, kind of work some things out. Because even if you lose this game, you're still sitting pretty dang good to make the postseason. I know the Chargers, I think, are sitting at that 7th spot right now. Let's see here.
Yeah really, the Colts are the only ones that can potentially sneak in.
So the Chargers are sitting at the 5 right now, and then it's currently Buffalo and then Houston. The Chargers and Buffalo are both at 10-4. Houston at 9-5, which we expect Houston to win. We'll get to that game. And then the Colts are the only ones that can sneak in. But again, tall task for the Colts this week. So I feel like the Chargers have some leeway here for their seeding, but to experiment with their team and kind of rest some guys, don't give them as many snaps, but still, take it seriously. You want to win this game because the season's not over. You still have 3 games, but I'm going with the Chargers on this one. Again, don't give your starters as many offensive snaps because you're already depleted. You don't want to hurt too many of your players. So
yeah,
well, this is a tough one to coach, right? I feel like this one is just a tough game to coach, and because I mean they win tie breaks currently over Buffalo based on best win percentage in conference games. So if Buffalo loses and Chargers lose, they're still on top of them. They've got some room to work with here.
Well, Mr. Hugo 61 says if Jacksonville wins, LA has a good chance of catching Denver because they still play each other. Also, if the Jaguars beat the Broncos and then the Chargers win, they'd only be a game and a half behind the Broncos. So there is a scenario in the AFC where Broncos lose, Patriots get upset, Jaguars move up, and then Chargers also win, where now they kind of are holding the Broncos' feet to the fire with 2 games left. So it does. Again, the most interesting thing that can happen this weekend are both the Broncos and Patriots losing, because that really does then open the doors for Jaguars
and especially if the Jaguars do win this game, the Broncos should win against the Chiefs, right? They should win, but then they have the Chargers. Like that would be very interesting. I'm not sure off the top of my head who. I think it might be the Chargers who have the better.
Chargers won the first game against the Broncos. They played the
Chargers. If the Chargers, and they have the better conference play. So
and they head to head, they play the last game of the season.
That's what I was going to get at. So Chargers would have the tiebreak over the Broncos here. Say Jaguars win and the Chargers win here. That would be very good. And then say they both either lose or win the second to last game, and then go into the final game and Chargers win that game. Up in Denver, they could, but I mean, again, you also have to take in consideration, the Patriots, if they win out and the Broncos stumble over the 2 of the last 3 games, which is possible, then the Patriots can get that number 1 seed. Like it's getting interesting. But I'm very excited for how this is going to play off.
Honestly, if you're in AFC, if your team is in the AFC right now, honestly, you don't want home field advantage for the AFC playoffs to either go through Denver or the Patriots. I feel like you would much rather have it go through Jacksonville or Chargers, because the jokes for both those teams are they have the least, home field advantage of
because they're fans. They don't have fans show up 100%. 100%.
So,
or going in, or even going into Buffalo. I know, that's a long shot for Buffalo, but hell, say Buffalo and the Broncos play each other, in the second round, and Buffalo wins. and then there's potential of going in through Buffalo. Like, you don't want to go play in these cold places, further north. They just don't want to do that, who have great fan bases. So
yeah,
no,
I agree. So in this game, who are you picking, Casino?
I'm going to go Chargers.
I think I'm going Chargers as well. It's crazy to me that the Cowboys lose on a standalone game on Sunday Night Football to JJ McCarthy, and the next week they're playing a better overall team and then playing Justin Herbert, and somehow they're favored again because that Vikings game also took place in Dallas. So what have you seen from Dallas at home the past month of the season that you think the Chargers couldn't go in there and win? The Cowboys are not the Cowboys that we think they are. They're 6-7-1, and that whole thing where they turned around their defense. My son's not here. I can't say it. But now let's move on. I'm also going with the Chargers. Let's move on to I really think the only mid game this week.
That was it.
And that was the mid game. So the perfect game, to go from mid to bad, and that is the Saturday 2 p.m. game, the 9-5 Philadelphia Eagles, my Philadelphia Eagles, at the 4-10 Washington Commanders. Now, what I teased at the beginning, Casino, was
I like when you tease.
Jacksonville. Mr. Hugo says if Jacksonville and Baltimore both win this weekend, Jacksonville getting the number 1 seed isn't out of the question.
No,
that's what we're saying.
Fun. It's fun.
That. Broncos, Patriots, Jags fighting. Chargers really fighting for that number 1 seed last 3 weeks. Again, this is a good NFL season. But now when we talk,
I just love that really it feels like whoever gets in the playoffs, it's wide open. It's wide open, man. I know the Rams are expected to come out of the NFC. But outside of that, everything else just feels up for grabs. And I don't remember the last time I could say that.
No, and again, in the NFC, it's like the Rams could easily lose on Thursday night, and then that would open the NFC.
So there was, I saw something, I don't know if I screenshotted it or not. Let me see. But there was a stat saying, no, I don't see it. So there was a stat saying that this is like the first time in like 20-something years where there has not been a Manning, a Brady, or a Mahomes in the postseason.
Wow. That is crazy.
It was like 20-something years, which is just insane, dude.
Well, also, again, if you want to throw in like the Ravens as well, if the Ravens miss the playoffs, I feel like even with the transition from Flacco to Jackson, I feel like they are just a staple to always be in the playoffs. So all of a sudden, if those quarterbacks, the Ravens aren't in it, like Cowboys aren't going to be in it, like all these big NFL teams that we're so used to always being in the playoffs, again, it feels like just a bunch of new teams.
Dude, having the Texans and
that's what everybody's prayed for.
Having the Texans and the Jags both sitting comfortably in a playoff spot, pretty great.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
But oh no, I'm gonna have to log in. But what I wanted to show, Casino, when it came to actually, maybe I can just pull it up right here. When it came to the Eagles Commanders, there was a under the radar hiring, so under the radar, I didn't even know it happened, where apparently earlier in the season, maybe at the start of the season, maybe at the middle, again, this kind of just came on my radar. The Eagles hired the former Bowling Green, I believe it was head coach, to be the quarterback coach for the Eagles. So the past 2 weeks, what is it? I got to turn the sound off on this. The past 2 weeks, Eagles fans, or just fans of football in general, have noticed that the Eagles offense has kind of completely turned around and been way different than what it was for the earlier parts of the season. And so some football head put this together and realized, hey, we have this new guy from Bowling Green, and a lot of the plays we saw against the Raiders specifically look like Bowling Green plays. So if you look, same shovel pass up the middle, So that was the first touchdown. Oh, let me take this off the screen.
Hey, Fanning Jr.
All of a sudden,
playing college.
Yes. So you're looking at different parts of this game and just going, this is interesting that now all of a sudden we might have a new play caller that's going under the radar, underreported for the Eagles offense, that maybe now this Bowling Green head coach is maybe running the offense, maybe calling the plays, because also there was a Hard Knocks is currently going on right now on HBO, and they're doing an NFC East where they go to all 4 of those teams throughout the season. So after the touchdown to AJ Brown, Hurts comes running up to the sidelines, and Nick Sirianni goes, "What do you think of those? What do you think of that play concept?" And then Jalen Hurts is like, "Yeah, I hit him right in the seam." So why would a head coach be talking about a play concept with a month left in the season? That to me just seems like all of a sudden there's a new offensive voice, new play schemes. Maybe Hurts has expressed his frustration behind the scenes, and now the coach is going like, well, now we're doing it. Like, what do you think of these play concepts? And they were all hyped up and jazzed about it. So again, maybe something there, maybe nothing. But
so with all that being said, you're going Commanders.
No, again, the reverse jinx died. Also, we have a new guy, Joseph I905Q says Broncos are winning the Super Bowl. I mean, that mentalist guy at the beginning of the season said Rams Broncos, which is every clip I see of him is creepy. So if he predicted that, would not be surprised. Eagles offense may not be the same, but they still beat the Rams. Yeah, that is true. And again,
he reminds me of that every single goddamn day. Just get random texts from him just saying, hey, remember the time the Eagles beat the Rams? Eagles beat the Rams?
Jordan Davis is a beast. Jalen Carter is also a beast. I don't know if he's back for this game, but again,
we never know what's going on with Carter. We never know. Dude, he's in, he's out. He's just
yeah. Lane Johnson, I believe, is going to be back for this game, but I don't think it matters. The Commanders have basically thrown up the white flag and said, we're not putting in Jaden Daniels. Like, we're kind of packing it in for the season. This should be another stress-free game where the Eagles just kind of roll easily. Maybe if there is a Bowling Green head coach and that offensive influence doing all these different plays, maybe you use this week and last week to kind of test out what you have to get ready for that Bills game, or more importantly, to get ready for the playoffs. So I'm going with the Eagles. Reverse jinx is dead, has been for a couple weeks now. I'm assuming you're also going Eagles?
Yes.
So we can talk about college football. Let's rattle off the rest of these, because again, we already talked about it. Most of these don't really mean anything in terms of playoff seedings, divisions, really anything. So we'll just go through them. Jets 3-11 against the 4-10 Saints. Who you got, Casino?
The 4-10 Saints. The 4-10. That's fun to say. 4-10 Saints. They are definitely going to get the win on this one. The Jets are just so bad. I mean, who's their quarterback, man? They're just going to throw some random fan out there at this point.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Shuck, he's looked good. Every quarterback that's been in the Saints offense has kind of looked good. Kellen Moore.
Yeah, they're doing their best to get noticed. Rattler, Shuck, whoever it is, good on them. The Saints, keep trying to do what you're doing. Try to rebuild this team after Derek Carr just said bye.
Next up, we have the Gardner Minshew led Kansas City Chiefs 6-8 at 2-12 Titans. I don't care who's quarterbacking for the Chiefs. A Chiefs team coached by Andy Reid should beat the Titans. Like 100%. This is no brainer.
They should beat the Titans, and I believe in the flow. Go Minshew.
Yeah, and again, we've seen games and we've seen years where Minshew looks like he should be a starting quarterback. So it's not like they just have some bum back there. He should do good.
And plus, my brother's playing for them, right? Because there was a funny picture. A video he sent to me once where he was taking a jog, and it was when he had his long hair and he had his mustache. He had the headband and everything. He looked like Gardner Minshew. And from there on out, I was just like, every time I look at him, I'm like, Minshew. It's great, pretty great. So going with my brother, he's gonna win. It's all good. Go Chiefs.
Next,
oh my gosh, I said go Chiefs. Because I don't care. They're out of the playoffs. This is grand. Go Chiefs.
4-10 Bengals at 6-8 Miami Dolphins. Who you got?
I'm going with the Bengals on this one. They're sitting Tua, right? They just released pass rusher Judon. I know he hasn't had a great season ever since he left the Patriots. With the Falcons, with the Dolphins, he's kind of bounced around, hasn't done well. He was released. The Dolphins just don't care. They just don't care anymore. Tua has gotten put all the way down to third string. He's not even going to be their backup. So
yeah,
this team, they're shoveling it in. They're 6-8. Call it what it is. They're done.
If the Bengals for some reason still want to keep Burrow on the field, he should beat this Dolphins team.
They're going to keep Burrow on the field, and I'm very nervous about that because Burrow, I think, is playing for, hey, look what I can do. After my injury, I want to go to a new team. Check me out. Who wants me? Who wants me? This is an audition. This is him fighting through the pains. He should not be playing, but I think he's trying to prove that, hey, I had this injury. I can still come out and play. I want on a new team. Can I bring my boy Jamar Chase, and we just call it a day?
Yeah, but I agree. It's going to be Bengals, Dolphins again. I don't know what's going on with the Dolphins.
And then one of our guys saying him going over to the Dolphins. Maybe this is him to look in front of that office and just be like, "Hey, look what I can do. Look what I can
that's
do."
True. Atlanta Falcons 5-9 at 3-11. Arizona Cardinals. Who you got in this one, Casino?
Don't Kirk Cousins. He's kind of playing good. He's kind of doing what Kirk Cousins does, playing mediocre enough to win.
Just to make this game a little interesting, I'll go Cards. Jacoby Brissett. Why not? This feels like a pick 'em, even though again, it feels like Falcons are 5-9, Cardinals are 3-11. It really feels like the Falcons are a much better team than the Cardinals. They're not. There's no metric where, again, the Falcons are better than this Cardinals team that is bad. Last game, Casino. It's my pick for blowout of the week. 2-12 Raiders at 9-5 Houston Texans.
This is not the last game of the week. You missed the Vikings Giants.
Oh God. Okay. Well, then pick both of them. Texans, Raiders, and then Vikings Giants.
Vikings Giants. Somehow 9 is feeling cocky. He's going to get the win. Gross. I hate every second of it. Because unlike Jackson Dart, who is cocky and I think kind of a tool, I still like watching him play. I don't like watching JJ McCarthy play at all. So I'm still going the Vikings on that. The Giants, they're just done. And then blowout of the week, easy call. It's a 14.5 point favor for the Texans. They're going to absolutely stomp the Raiders because they're only sitting 9-5. The Colts are right behind them. They want to make this playoffs and be that 7 seed. And again, they're scary. They're one of the hottest teams in the league right now. That defense is really coming through. Even with CJ Stroud playing not the best games, that defense is legit, and that defense is going to eat that Raiders offense.
Yeah. You know what? I'm doubling up on that. I'm going worst game and blowout for Texans Raiders. I think that's going to be both. Last one.
I'm going to say Saints Jets are going to be the worst game for me.
Saints Jets worst game. What's your pick for best game this week, Casino?
Best game. I got to go Packers and Bears. I know that you picked Packers and Bears. Did you pick Packers Bears, right?
No, best game I picked Jacksonville, Denver.
Okay, I'm going to go Packers Bears on that one, even though it should be Seattle and Rams, but Thursday night games, don't trust it. I'm going Packers Bears just because of the rivalry.
My upset was Colts over 49ers. Who's your upset pick?
I said it. I don't recall.
Ravens. No, Ravens are favored. So you're going Chargers.
Yeah, because I think the Chargers for some reason weren't.
Chargers.
The Cowboys are favored in that. Yeah, Chargers.
Last one. Who's your pick for blowout of the week?
100%. The Texans are going to absolutely annihilate this Raiders team. It's going to be ugly. This might be the biggest blowout of the season.
We both have the Texans winning in a blowout against the Raiders. I have that as my worst game. Casino has Saints Jets as his worst game. Casino's pick for upset is Chargers over Cowboys. Mine is Colts over 49ers on Monday Night Football. My best game of the week is Jaguars Broncos. Casino's is Bears Packers on Saturday night. There you have it. This has been the, oh no, hold on, start that over. There we go. This has been the good, the mid, and the ugly for week 16. Before we get out of here, Casino, before we get out of here, we also have to talk about these college football games. We don't have a lot of time to talk about them.
Don't have a lot of time.
But we will still go through them, pick the big games this weekend because the playoffs start what should be a great playoff season. But as of, oh no, I can't pull them up. Where are they? Oh, there we go. So let's just pick these. We'll add these to the football playoffs right now. We have, I believe, four of the games this weekend. So first up, number 9, Alabama, number 8, Oklahoma. Who you got?
I'm going to go Oklahoma on this one. They're playing at home. Alabama kind of, barely got in. I know there's controversy on that. If it was Miami getting over Notre Dame, sure, we get that. I get that. Alabama over Notre Dame, I had trouble with, but with that being said, I think Oklahoma absolutely takes care of Bama, just absolutely works them. I'm going Oklahoma on this one.
I'll go Alabama. I don't know why. We saw Oklahoma and Alabama play earlier in the season. Oklahoma beat them. I'm going Alabama in the rematch. Again, this feels like one of those games where everybody's going to pick Oklahoma and then all Alabama is going to do is win that game. And then everybody's going to be like, see, we knew they should have been in the playoffs. Yeah, this is perfectly set up to be that. It happens every year.
I hate it.
Happen. Number 10, Miami, at number 7, Texas A&M. Who you got?
I mean, this is interesting. I mean, I feel, again, I'm not huge on the college football. I know enough, but I've heard a lot of takes that Miami could take down Texas A&M. I have watched a lot of Texas A&M games this year, not a lot of Miami games. I'm going to go with the home favorite, but apparently there's a lot of people saying Miami for the upset.
I'm one of them. I'm picking totally Miami upset. Again, Texas A&M has been the better team this season. I think Miami is just kind of the wild card in this situation, which is one of the last ones in the playoffs. I just think they're playing with house money. They have no reason to,
and they want to prove that they got into the playoffs for a reason. I mean, I totally get that. Again, yeah. I've just seen more Texas A&M games this year. I've seen more of their play than I have Miami. So I just got to go with them at this point. But yeah, apparently everybody's who's better with the college football than me going Miami. So let's see if they can get it done and prove to why they deserve to be in the playoffs. If Alabama beats Oklahoma and Miami beats this Texas A&M team, just stop everything about the Notre Dame thing.
Yeah, that's true. Last two, number 11, Tulane, at number 6, Ole Miss. No Lane Kiffin because he apparently left to go to LSU.
Doesn't matter.
A story we didn't talk about, but college football again with how they do their coaching and NIL. Yeah,
it's crazy that I would be pissed if I was this organization. I mean, I know that LSU's got money and that's a big title, that's a big name. But I mean, Ole Miss has always been a good school to go to for college football. I mean, you hear about them. They're not always the ones that are like going for the championship, but they've always played good football.
Well, they're also 11-1 in the SEC. What more do you want as a coach? You
can't ask for more.
You can't. It's so dumb.
If I was that, I would have if I was Kiffin, I would have just been, hey, LSU, here's the deal. I want to coach your team, but I'm going to finish this season with Ole Miss. If you can't handle that, go find a different coach. I will stay with Ole Miss and get paid a lot of money to do so. And that's that. But I owe it to my players. I lost tons of respect for Lane Kiffin on this.
Did you have any to begin with?
No.
Did you have any?
I mean, what I had left of him, right? And I understand you're doing it for money, doing it for your family. I get all of that, right? Your financial future, your kids and grandkids' financial future. I get all of that. Trust me. In this economy, I get that. I understand. However, you're still getting paid millions of dollars. You are still very well off. And I don't care. All these talking heads are saying, of course he's going to take the money. Why won't he take the money? He doesn't owe that program anything. Why be a legend at a school when you can go get paid and have financial security for your family? He has still got financial security for his family. And how tough is it for LSU to be like, you're right, finish your season. You guys are having a great year. Go do that. Try to win your national championship, and then come to us and win a national championship here. Do that.
It's so dumb.
I don't get it, but they are going to smash Tulane. I know a lot of people, you included, do not like the lower tier football teams making the playoffs. I get that, but again, it gives conferences and teams something to fight for. The only thing that I kind of heard as something that you could do is outside of these power conferences, even though you're Division I football, maybe have your own championship as well. I mean, that was something that could have been cool, but Ole Miss is going to destroy Tulane, and it's not going to be even fun.
Again, I'm fine with one of them getting in, but both Tulane and James Madison getting in over Notre Dame is dumb. It's
no,
stupid.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I feel like what they have set, you have 5 conferences to try, and 5 conferences, you have to win your conference title. And with winning your conference title, they pick one of the best 5. That is, to me, that's fair. You get one slot of 12. Slot of 12.
Or have James Madison and Tulane play in the first round to see who is the 12 seed.
Yeah, kind of do what NCAA basketball does, where they move from that 64 to the 68, and those teams, they have 2 games. They have 2 games before they actually start the tournament, right? Do the same kind of situation. I like that.
Dude, have one of them play Notre Dame to get in the last spot. Have Notre Dame and James Madison play last weekend.
Have Tulane, James Madison play, and then Notre Dame play the winner of that. Whoever gets in goes. I know that's a lot of extra games, but be in a different conference. I don't know.
Or do it WWE style. Have them do a triple threat where they play each other all at the same time.
Dude, that would be great. There's a fun sport. So on ESPN News, I turn Omega Ball.
Omega Ball.
Dude, it's Omega Ball. So for those who are not familiar, ESPN News, they pretty much play the Ocho at night, and it is phenomenal. And there's one of these games called Omega Ball. It is just a circle, and it's like 5v5 v5 soccer, and it is awesome. And you can score against any net, except obviously not yours. It is wild. Do that with football.
Bring Omega Ball to be the last team in the college football bracket, as if people weren't upset enough about what college football has become. Could you fucking imagine? They just come out and say we're doing Omega Ball. And then the last segment,
one, we haven't done it in a long time. We should do a top 10 of oddball sports.
Ooh, okay. We'll bring it back. But obviously, Ole Miss is going to destroy Tulane, and then even going to be a bigger slaughter is going to be James Madison at Oregon. Oregon is going to annihilate them.
Here's the annihilate. Right. They're going to annihilate unless they just pull the most Oregon thing ever and they lose.
Oh yeah. In this scenario, Tulane. I could see Tulane beating Ole Miss because of how weird their coaching thing is, but not really because they still have the players. The most Oregon thing ever would be them losing to James Madison. That
would be the funniest thing. If that happened, anybody that's a Duck fan, just burn. Have just one giant bonfire in the middle of campus and just call it a day.
Yeah. But those are what the picks right here. We are picking 2 different ones in college. We're picking 5 different ones in the NFL. So
are we going to add the college ones to it?
I'm adding it to it.
Let's do it. Oklahoma, Texas A&M. I need you coming big. That's 2 right there. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could technically win all 7 of these and be 1 ahead going into the final 2 weeks. So that could happen.
I hope we're tied. Go Patriots. I hope we're tied.
And on that note, this has been the Only Sports Podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. I'll be back on the Friday show solo to do power rankings. Casino, some of your power rankings.
Got it.
And also Super Bowl bubble.
Yeah, Super Bowl bubble. And we also talking with my mom. For those who don't know, she watches my son, so we could try to do our studio. Things have worked out to where this is going to be coming back soon. So hopefully soon you'll be able to see our studio. For those of you who haven't, pretty good setup, pretty good gig. Excited to see you face to face and play footsies with you while we're sitting there at the desk.
Yeah, there you go. It'll be grand. It'll be grand. This has been, again, Only Sports Podcast, Will Casino. See you Friday. We'll see you Monday after a huge weekend in sports. Adios.
Adios.